Good day, everyone. We are very excited to participate here at the 7th Kuala Lumpur International Conference on Education, Economics, and Technology 2025. We are grateful for the opportunity to share our study entitled Unveiling the Benefits and Challenges of Using Printed Modules During Pandemic, examining university teachers' experiences in higher education institutions. We are the authors, Ms. Marites Choycawen, Mr. Randy Pagdawan, Mr. Peter Paul Canuto from Ifugao State University, Tinoc Campus, Philippines. For the introduction, the most recent pandemic dramatically disrupted global education system. The coronavirus COVID-19 triggered widespread school closures, affected academic activities, disrupted traditional learning environments, and forced education institutions to transition to remote and online learning rapidly. In higher education institutions, or HEIs, the abrupt shift of university operation had affected administration, non-academic staffs, teachers, students, and other stakeholders. Amidst these various measures were implemented to guarantee the continuity of academic learning and development. Relevant teaching and learning methods and strategies were adapted as substitute for in-person classes. These enforced worldwide HEIs to conform with distance education as vital alternative to traditional in-person learning, enabling them to continue delivering lessons despite school closures. Distance education encompasses any form of learning that takes place when students and teachers are not physically present in the same location and primarily rely on digital technologies to facilitate learning and instruction. The philosophy of distance education is based on students' autonomy, with the least necessary in-person or face-to-face interaction with their teacher, and the largest possible amount of individual learning materials specially produced to simplify learning without contact with the teacher. Distance education may be comprised of online learning or e-learning and modularization or modular approach. Online learning or e-learning in education uses digital platforms and technologies to deliver educational content and facilitate student learning outside of traditional classroom settings. It offers flexibility by allowing students to access materials, participate in discussion, complete assignments, and engage in assessments at their own pace and from anywhere in the world. This form of learning can be asynchronous, where students learn independently on their schedule, or synchronous, where they attend live session. Meanwhile, modularization or modular approach or modular learning in education correspond to a teaching and learning strategy where the curriculum is divided into distinct self-contained units or modules, each focusing on a specific topic, skill, or concept. It is commonly observed that modules in academic institutions can be designed in varied formats such as online or web-based and hard copy or print-based. Regardless of format, these modules are designed to be flexible and can be completed independently, allowing students to progress at their own pace. For most universities with good technological and internet infrastructure, their teachers have adopted online classes as the primary method of instruction, rapidly modifying their curricula and teaching method to suit online learning. However, for some HEIs, adapting to online distance education during the pandemic was challenging for its academic staff. While most thrive with online education, other teachers face significant challenges including limited access to technological infrastructures, unstable internet connection, and inadequate distance educational technology teachers training. The modular approach was crucial for university students to maintain their academic progress amidst uncertainty and disruptions. Using a modular approach in university during the COVID-19 pandemic proved to be a crucial strategy for maintaining educational continuity while adhering to health and safety guidelines, ensuring broader educational access and equity. It empowered students to take control of their learning experience during the pandemic. In the Philippines, the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, supported the implementation of flexible learning models and other alternative models for HEIs during the onset of the pandemic. With this, the majority of the Philippine HEIs saw opportunities and spurred innovation in their education delivery through online learning models. However, the transition was uneven for some HEIs due to disparities in access to technology and the internet, particularly in rural or underserved areas, which left many students struggling to keep up with their lessons. The universities that experienced constraints and challenges in online instruction relied on printed modules as key components of their shift to distance education. With many areas facing limited or unreliable internet access, printed modules became essential to bridge the digital divide. The printed modules allowed students to participate in continuous and personalized learning. In response to the call of CHED to implement alternative learning modules to ensure and maintain quality education, the local HEI Ifugao State University or Tinoc campus adopted the usage of printed modules in their implementation of modular distance learning. Particularly in Tinoc campus, the university and campus officials, faculty members, staff, students, and other stakeholders mutually agreed to use printed module as the primary instruction approach to facilitate students' learning during the pandemic. The campus and its stakeholders largely supported this approach due to several factors, including geographical location, weak internet connection in the locality, lack of internet infrastructure on the campus, and instantaneous changes in health and safety protocols. Faculty members also expressed that printed modules were the most practical, accessible, and cost-effective, promoted learning equity, and presented the most adaptability among them and their students. For the research gap, the distance education approach, online learning, and modular learning gained traction and significant prominence during the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly as a response to the sudden shift from traditional classroom learning to remote education. HEIs has to rapidly adapt to distance education, allowing for efficient, structured, and continuous delivery of quality education. While some HEIs use online learning, others resolved to use modular learning in their instruction. This approach allowed students to access learning materials remotely, ensuring they could continue their academic pursuits without significant disruptions. In this context, related empirical studies output and became crucial for understanding the effectiveness, challenges, and other broader implications of employing distance education, online learning, and modular learning among HEIs. There were numerous studies regarding online learning during the pandemic and its impact on students, teachers, and universities. On the other hand, there are limited studies about the context of modular learning, specifically the use of printed module learning in HEIs. There is a notable research knowledge gap on university teachers' experiences in crafting, preparing, and delivering printed modules. With the identified literature and research gap, this study aimed to examine the experiences of university teachers in implementing a printed modular learning in their instruction during the wake of the pandemic. It further aimed to determine the benefits they have gained and the challenges they have encountered in crafting, preparing, and delivering printed modules for students' use. The following questions guided the study. What are the university teachers' perception in crafting, preparing, and delivering modules during the pandemic? What are the benefits, gain, and challenges the university teachers encountered in employing the printed modules? For the research design, this study utilized qualitative phenomenological research to examine the experiences of university teachers in employing modular approach, crafting modules, and using printed modules to support students' continuous education during the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. A semi-structured interview was employed to explore and collect data regarding the teachers' lived experiences. The researchers prepared a set of open-ended questions or topics in advance regarding the teachers' printed modular approach, serving as a guide for the interview. All of the interviews were recorded and transcribed. This transcription transformed the verbal data into written form, making it accessible for thematic analysis and coding. Since most of the interview conversation used the teacher's local dialect, transcriptions were translated into English language. Thematic analysis was used to analyze the result. The researchers also applied bracketing when conducting this study, referring to the process by which researchers set aside their preconception biases and assumptions to more objectively understand and interpret the experiences and perspective of participants. Through purposive sampling, 7 university teachers from Tinoc campus, Tinoc, Ifugao, Philippines, were involved in the study from March to June 2024. They comprised 3 male and 4 female teachers. They were selected based on their direct and first-hand experience with modular distance learning and the use of printed modules during the pandemic. Then informed consent was solicited from the university teachers seeking voluntary participation in this study. With their approval, interview schedules and venues were set. Beforehand, the university teacher participants were assigned letters and number identified from P1 to P7. During the interviews, guide questions were used. Bracketing was strictly observed. The researcher used their smartphones to record interviews, which lasted about half an hour.
Based on the analysis, 2 major teams and 6 sub-teams emerged from the university teachers' responses regarding their use of the printed modular approach. The major teams include teaching benefits of using printed modular approach and challenges experienced in implementing the printed modular approach. The first team pertains to the benefit the university teachers gain, highlight the impact of the printed modular approach in their teaching profession. It became a powerful pedagogical strategy that offers several advantages during the pandemic. The first benefit refers to the improved curriculum development and strategic planning among the teachers. Using the modular approach to teaching and learning affected the university teachers' ability to modify curriculum and the course design better and strategically plan for the delivery of the learning modules. They learn to create plans and strategically address the unique learning situation. They focus more on defining specific, measurable learning outcomes for each module, making their courses more organized and transparent to students. The crafting of the modules affected the university teachers' academic writing skills development as the second benefit. They could write comprehensive lesson contents, clear and concise instructions, and richer activities and assessment. The last benefit is enhanced student-centered pedagogy. The modular approach allowed the university teachers to craft printed modules that catered more effectively to their diverse student needs. They become more attuned to flexibility and differentiating instruction. While the printed modular approach was worthwhile and served as a primary learning approach during the pandemic, the university teachers encountered challenges adopting it. First challenge relates to the preparation of modules. The lack of knowledge and unclear guidelines were among the main factors that affected the university teachers crafting the modules. They were not very prepared for the sudden shift to modular distance education. They noted a lack of guidelines from the university regarding the module format, modules, models, and packaging. Another, having scarce resources impacted university teachers' ability to craft modules. They indicated limited books and journals in the library. The internet connections at the university was also not good. The teachers also shared that they have a significant amount of teaching workloads, exacerbated by clerical work and relevant work related to the preparation of modules. These conditions, coupled with module distribution, constrained the effective implementation of the modular approach. The teachers also faced challenges regarding distribution and retrieval of printed modules. In late claiming of modules, despite university teachers' effort to distribute modules efficiently, student access and retrieval challenges emerged. There were instances where students could not claim their modules and obtain them later. Accordingly, even though this was a problem, it was understandable due to the quarantines, travel restrictions, and the distance house addresses of the students. In late submission of modules, they identified that some students were late submitting their completed modules. These students were not able to submit their output on time. When this happened, the university teachers indicated that it caused a high volume of module outputs to be checked and can be stressful and frustrating to them. Nevertheless, the teachers still accept the students' late submission due to consideration of the pandemic. Third, the teacher experienced challenges in monitoring of students' learning. They expressed concern about their struggle to effectively monitor student learning and validate their progress in a modular approach. It was tough for the university teachers to ascertain the individual academic progress of their students. The university teachers' effective communication with their students posed a significant challenge. This was due to the several factors such as limited access to technology, unreliable internet connections, and periodical student engagement. They described difficulties in reaching students via messaging and phone calls. Fourth, the teachers observed students' poor performances. With unsatisfactory answers, they noted a disconnection between the learning objectives, the desired depth of understanding of the lesson, and the actual student responses. They noted unsatisfactory levels of answers even if the rubrics were provided. They also noted students' limited analysis of the lesson. They expressed that some students' answers were disappointing even if the lessons were simplified with varied examples. Students submitted unanswered activities and incomplete outputs. The university teachers relied on the complete modules activities and output to track student performance and identify areas needing additional support. However, some students simply submit their activity sheets with some items without answers. Some students were also unable to do or perform the outputs indicated in the modules. They signify that scoring or marking the students' activities and outputs made it difficult for them to monitor their academic performances and evaluate their grades. In relation to plagiarism, the teachers pointed out that some students simply copied and pasted their answers on some questions from internet resources and artificial intelligence or AI applications. They implied that this did not reflect students' true understanding of the module. This also made it difficult to assess students' knowledge accurately. The university teachers highlighted that it was a form of plagiarism since they stole ideas from others without permission or consent. In summary, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the printed modular approach became a crucial tool in education in some HEIs. It was particularly relevant amongst university teachers, providing them with innovative tools to adapt to the sudden shift to remote and distance education. It helped to address the urgent need for adaptable and scalable solutions to support students' remote learning, striving for change towards more flexible, student-centered learning and instruction. As determined in the study, the teachers conveyed several benefits they gained and the challenges they encountered. Their acquired benefits depict professional and pedagogical development, including improved curriculum development and strategic planning, academic writing skills development, and enhanced student-centered pedagogy. On the other hand, the challenges they encounter details issues in preparing and distributing the printed modules as well as concerns regarding students' academic performances. This includes preparation of modules, distribution and retrieval of printed modules, monitoring of students' learning and students' poor performances. Nonetheless, the teachers recognized the significance of using printed modules in response to sustained quality education amidst the pandemic. These are the references of our study. And that concludes our presentations. Once again, we are the authors, Ms. Marites Choycawen, Mr. Randy Pagdawan, and Mr. Peter Paul Canuto from Ifugao State University, Tinoc Campus, Philippines. We have shared our study entitled Unveiling the Benefits and Challenges of Using Printed Modules During Pandemic, examining university teachers' experiences in a higher education institution. We hope the insight from our study that we shared have been valuable. Thank you very much.